Welcome back to our conversation with Alex Goldstein, local boy made good and the founder of the very important social media platform Faces of COVID. You can find it on Twitter at Faces of COVID. Alex, you wrote recently in an article for the website Stat that one reason you think it's so important to remember the dead is that we can start to hold those who failed us accountable. Who do you mean? And so far, are they being held accountable?
Yeah, I think accountability does need to start at the federal level. I think that there is, you mentioned at the start of this that the U.S. has had one of the worst per capita death rates in the entire world. And we need to ask ourselves how a country with this much wealth and resource and a healthcare system that we ought to be proud of has sort of collapsed so badly in the context of this pandemic. I also think we need to point out that the federal government very intentionally pushed this down to the states and said, you figure it out. And then in a lot of the states, they pushed it down to the local level and said, you figure it out. And then at the local level, they even pushed it down to individuals and said, you figure it out. And that was sort of a cascading effect that really, I think, led to really uneven measures across the country and a lot of unnecessary deaths. I also think we need to hold people accountable who have been the purveyors of vaccine misinformation and anti-science aggression, and that's sort of across the range of political commentators and elected officials and pundits. There's a lot of people who own this. It's not just one person.
What have you made of Governor Baker's handling of this?
First of all, I like to be careful about sort of Monday morning quarterbacking crisis, because I was in the governor's office for a bunch of years. I lived through a lot of crisis.
Right, as you mentioned, you worked for Governor Patrick as his press secretary.
And we had no lack of crises during that. And I know how hard it is in the moment when things are evolving in real time to stay on top of it. I think he was dealt a really tough hand. I do think that nobody should be off the hook for accountability, because we need to make things better and learn lessons for the next time this happens. And whether it's another pandemic or it's the climate crisis or some other thing we haven't really been able to predict yet, we are going to find ourselves in the crosshairs of another crisis, and we can't perform this badly, whether at the federal, state, or local level.
I mean, just the other day, there were a group of physicians who wrote a public letter urging the governor to reinstate mask mandates in schools, for instance, and public transit and so forth, and he's saying, no, no, no. Do you have an observation on that?
Yeah, I mean, it makes me nervous when public opinion or concerns about public opinion or voter sentiment kind of overrides public health recommendations from the professionals. I'd also say in Massachusetts, we need to spend more time sitting with the reality of what happened at the Holyoke Soldiers Home. These are folks who fought for their country and were supposed to be taken care of by their government, and that was a unmitigated disaster at the start of the pandemic. Need to keep these issues front and center for the next one.
Alex, you've written that and I'm quoting here from that Stat article, the thin strands of our social fabric have been fully ripped apart, and our trust in one another has all but evaporated, end quote. What role has our political discourse played in this sort of empathy deficit, and what can possibly be done about it?
Yeah, it's an important question we need to be asking ourselves, because certainly we were fractured politically before the pandemic, and I think in a lot of ways the isolation of the pandemic further ripped those strands apart, as I said. What's interesting is that grief is universal. No one was spared from this pandemic. No matter what your political persuasion was or what you believed, people from across the spectrum lost people that mattered to them, and their grief is universal. And I do think that there's something about strangers coming to a platform like Faces of COVID, acknowledging the loss of people they've never met and will never meet, that is part of that kind of empathetic modeling of behavior and civility and what it means to be a part of a functioning society that can bring us out of this. It's not the only solution by far, but it is an important step that we actually start seeing each other again in this country as something other than caricatures.
Well, we certainly can't live with this status quo. Alex, thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Faces of COVID. That's the best way for people to plug into what you're doing.
You can submit by sending a message to that account, and we can share your loved one's story if you'd like.
Thank you.
Thank you.